Hey everybody, what's up? This is your girl B Sparrow, Buzz Tweet Radio, BTR 2020, shooting the facts. And I got my girl DJ April Showers with me from Truth Radio, DRT Radio. Hey April, what's up?
Hey, Shalom, my sister B. It's always a pleasure to be with you on this
Absolutely.
panel and talk about what's going on in the US of A and what's
Yes,
going on with my people, my so-called people.
absolutely. So
And
we have
so,
a we have a lot we want to talk about. We want to start out straight up. We just gonna get right into it. We want to start out with iceCube. You posted this video. I'm going to share it right now. So let me hear what Ice Cube have to say because I just find it hard to believe that black people are mad with him for a meeting with Donald Trump after he after Joe Biden wouldn't meet with him. But Joe Biden met with Cardi B. What's wrong with that picture?
exactly. Girl, let's hear
I
the video.
I just, I just cannot believe. Okay, let me get it right. I just
Yeah,
cannot
I mean, I
believe
can't
black people are
believe it.
mad
Either
with
you
him.
want to get mad because Trump met with him. Okay.
Reading a lot of history,
Hold on, I'm gonna rewind it.
trying to understand how systems work, not getting caught up in anybody's rhetoric, but Saturday fam, um, you already know how I get down. Over the last few months, I've been really going deep into this political space. Um, you know, reading a lot of history, trying to understand how systems work. I'm not getting caught up in anybody's rhetoric, but looking for my damn self, and just trying to figure out why we continue to flounder at the bottom. What is it? And what I found is that it's systems in place, as we all know. It ain't because we ain't doing what we supposed to do as black people, because of course we all can do better. There's shit that we need to do to clean up ourselves and our community. But besides that shit, the system is fucked up. It's just designed totally. And not only designed, but there's a dedication to keeping us at the bottom of this country. And I don't know if we can count on any party to get us out the shit, to be honest. So we are going to have to do a lot of things different as a black community. We have to pool our resources. We have to think about ourselves. We love all the other races of the world, but at some point we got to figure out how do we get ahead, because everybody's on top of us but us, or everybody's on top of us. And shit ain't gonna work. We ain't gonna survive this the way it's going. It's just designed that I can't see the future. So we gotta change this shit. Everybody's been mad at me because I haven't been on the fucking the gravy train of these candidates, especially Joe Biden and Harris. I don't trust none of them. No president has done right by
All right. What did he say, B?
I heard nothing but the truth.
So putting our hopes and dreams behind them, we gotta make them do what we want them to do. And there's only a few ways to do that. Now, I've been making contacts, trying to, talk about these real issues, straight up, I believe the Democrats they've been nice, they've been cordial, so to speak. I don't really see them pushing their policies in any different direction. They're still talking this minority people of color shit that don't necessarily include us, that don't necessarily include Black Americans, especially descendants of slaves, ADOS, American descendants of slaves. That ain't specifically us, it's everybody. We ain't gonna get shit. Because when you look around, everybody hates us. So we still at the bottom of that. So, I think the Democrats, they got every Black celebrity and shit on their team, so they just figure, tell Q to shut the fuck up and vote. And so I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna push the program. We got a program, I'm pushing it on everybody. We also met with the Republicans and shit. They brought us in. We talked to them. They've moved their agenda a lot because of what we said. They put $500 billion on the table. But who knows? Who knows what's gonna really happen? I just know one of them gonna win. I don't know if it can really matter to us. We gotta just push whoever is in there because ain't nobody really solved our problems. People say we can't take another 4 years of this. Black people, we could take anything. Shit. Joe Biden, the Democrats, I believe they owe us. Will they do right by us at the end of the day? Who knows? I think the plan they have is they're doing a lot when it comes to safety and police and all this shit, but that dough is thin. Everybody's money is thin. We're not gonna get no respect in this country without the cash. We ain't gonna get no respect in this country without having money in our community. It just ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So everybody could be mad at me, pissed off at me. I don't give a, hey, y'all know what it is. I'm trying to get to the truth. I ain't about to be part of nobody program. Ain't nobody gonna, get me to back down. And if y'all don't want to hear the truth, then that's kind of a personal problem. I'm gonna keep spitting it how I see it. I think the problem is we're a little too one-sided, and we need to hold everybody to the fire and make sure everybody do what they're supposed to do when it comes to Black people, not get caught up in a whole lot of white people business. Need to worry about our own, what's going on with us. And then when we get what we got to get, then we'll welcome everybody. But we got to make a decision. And we got to push people to do something big and do it right now.
So, this is what I don't understand. And somebody make it make sense to me.
Somewhere.
Oh, wait. Hold on, sis. No, sis.
Huh?
Joe Biden met with Cardi B. Everybody loved it. Everybody loved it that he met with Cardi B. Everybody except for me. I couldn't stand it. But he would not meet with iceCube. Said he'll meet with iceCube after the election. And so black people are mad with iceCube for taking his black, what is it called?
His black agenda or his black contract for America.
Black contract for taking it to Donald Trump. And black people are pissed off. What is wrong? You know what? Let me calm down.
And actually, Trump said some things that he would go along with. He gave some promises.
Trump used some of iceCube's ideas for his black agenda. And I see nothing wrong with that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Trump fan. I'm not a Joe Biden fan. But what my issue is, why are black people mad that this man went to the president and presented to him a black contract that might improve our communities? That might.
Right.
No one else has done it. No one else has done this.
So the response that I was getting from people was, it's suspect because this is something that he should have done years ago. They're raising eyebrows because it's so close to the election time. And, you know, what time is the right time?
What time is the right time? Time is of the essence. We don't have time to wait until the election. We don't have time for that. So, shalom, brother K. Judah. So black people are. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, keep going. I'm gonna find some comments that people post.
So black people are mad with iceCube because he took his black contract to the White House, to Donald Trump. But when he tried to meet with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, Joe Biden team told him to wait till after the election. So Joe Biden can meet with Cardi B, but he can't meet with iceCube. Can somebody please explain that to me?
And what people were saying to me, and you know, even before when we talked about this black contract and everything, you know, I did say, wow, why didn't he start on this sooner? It's so close to the election, but at least he is trying to do something, and maybe he felt like this was in his timing. But what I'm trying to figure out is he's trying to do something for us
that nobody else is doing. No one else is doing this. Who else has presented a black contract to the president of the United States to help improve black communities? Who else? Do you know of anyone? K. Judah, what are you talking about? You said, yeah, I said it. What you say, K? I think I may have lost Sister April. Lady T, hello. Thank you for joining in. Lady T, YTF Enterprise, IFJC. Oh, what kind of business is that? I would love to know, sis. But we're talking about iceCube. I don't understand why black people are mad at iceCube for meeting with Donald Kingpin Trump, but no one is mad. No one is mad at him, at Joe Biden for meeting with Cardi B. Joe Biden can meet with Cardi B, a black woman or almost black woman, but he cannot meet with iceCube, a black man. Please, somebody tell me what's wrong with that picture. Please, can someone explain that to me? Explain it to me like I'm 3 years old, because it's not that I'm a Donald Trump fan. I'm not a Joe Biden fan, but the black men in our community. Oh, okay, sis. The black men are our leaders. The black men are our backbones. They are the ones that take care of our households. We got to stop letting white people emasculate our black men. Our black men. Shalom to Chi-Town's finest. Welcome. We're talking about iceCube today, and I don't understand why black people are mad with iceCube. You mad with iceCube? If I put my opinions on Joe Biden, somebody make sense to me. Somebody make sense to me, because I don't get it. I think I was the only one in the world that was pissed off when Joe Biden met with Cardi B. Why Cardi B, and who does she represent? Why Cardi B, and who does she represent? Right, lady of what? Zer? I'm sorry for missing y'all names. But Black People Alliance to the Democratic Party is baffling. It's very baffling. I don't get it. Now let me calm down. I'm trying to talk to y'all and find my article. I think DJ April Shower said she had a power outage. Oh, there she is right there. Let me get her back up here. You back, sis? You know your camera on, right? You back, sis? Oh, she having some issues. Why on this day? Why on this day? Can someone please explain to me why Joe Biden was so willing to meet with Cardi B, but would not meet? Yes. I think you're kind of in and out. Okay, I hear you fine. I'm just so you want to pick up where you left off?
Okay, so what I was saying was, you know, why do we as Black people, we want to cancel iceCube,
right?
Or we want to side-eye him because, you know, this is what we have been trained to think. Somebody that's trying to help us. Now everybody wants to side-eye him and say he's getting votes for Trump, you know, and it's like, are you Negroes crazy or what? Like, really? So everybody's now saying that he's an idiot. He should have started this 2 years ago and this or whatever. But whatever he did, I had to respect him in his own timing. And maybe he felt like presenting them this plan to them right before the election to tie their hands. You know, I've just got to believe and trust that he felt what he was doing was the right thing at the right time.
I like what and I messed up her name earlier. Lady of Leisure said. I'm sure that's Lady of Leisure said. Black People Alliance to the Democratic Party is baffling. It's very baffling. Yes. I don't understand. Can I read this article right quick?
Yes, read it.
The inside story of how iceCube joined forces with Donald Trump. And this article is taken from Politico, one of my favorite websites. Politico. It says, an unlikely partnership on a plan to lift Black Americans economically was months in the making. Okay? It says, this is the story of how iceCube wound up in a room with Jared Kushner less than 2 months before the election, then locked arms with Donald Trump in a move that delighted the president's supporters and angered many African Americans. Late last month, the iconic rapper quietly slipped into Washington, D.C., and I wish I had known that. I would have tried to see iceCube. That's my favorite. Anyway, for a 3-hour meeting near the White House with Kushner and other senior advisors to Trump. After a summer of racial unrest, iceCube was promoting a contract with Black America to help lift African Americans economically. He wanted the administration's ear. Okay, so it goes on to say, eager to siphon off a slice of Joe Biden's Black supports, Trump had been wooing African Americans for months. Landing iceCube's endorsement was a stretch, but a collaboration with the famous rapper would still be a big get. Even heading off an iceCube endorsement of Joe Biden's would send a message Trump allies saw. So please understand, iceCube is not endorsing Donald Trump, okay? He said he don't trust neither one of them. He is not endorsing Donald Trump. Right, K. Judah? At least he's trying to do something. And Black people mad with him. Let me talk about The Game. The rapper, y'all know the rapper The Game. He is trying to silence iceCube. It ain't gonna happen, gang. Sit your snitching butt down somewhere. Sit your snitching butt down somewhere. Need to silence Cardi B. That's who you need to silence because she does not speak for me. I'd rather iceCube speak for me than Cardi B anytime. She doesn't represent me. So after the sit down, White House aides went back and forth with iceCube over his 13-point blueprint, parts of which they agreed with, others they did not. But a few weeks later, when Trump released his own proposal to boost African Americans, it included iceCube's biggest ask, a $500 billion capital infusion into the Black community. You still there, sis?
Yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just checking up on you. Okay, so it goes on to say, after the Trump campaign revealed that iceCube had helped shape the president's plan, an array of Black commentators responded with fury. Torre said the artist was being used. Roxanne Gay asked, how does the guy from NWA become MAGA? Black people so damn idiotic.
Girl, it just makes me sick.
So idiotic. Let me go ahead and continue. The White House engaged in a weeks-long courtship of iceCube, a transformational figure in the rap world as well as mainstream Hollywood. Trump aides had invited iceCube's representatives to the White House and heard them out on a conference call, at least one of which included the performer. There was a lunch at the president's Bedminster Golf Club with iceCube's managers. So, the endeavor underscores the extent to which Trump has made outreach to Blacks a centerpiece of his re-election bid. The president is waging an uphill effort to improve on 2016 when he received just 8% of the African American votes. While Trump's advisors concede he's unlikely ever to win a substantial amount of Black support, even a small uptick could sway the outcome in a close swing state or two, they say. I can go on and on. There's more. You want me to keep going? You want to commentate on it?
No, keep going.
As it turned out, Ken Kurson, a friend of Kushner's who served as an editor-in-chief of the New York Observer when the Trump aide was publisher, had a connection to iceCube. Kurson had known iceCube's business partner, Jeff Quatstanez, since the 1990s, when Kurson was bassist for the Chicago indie rock group Green. Okay? In August, Kurson sent Kushner a text message forging a partnership with iceCube, he wrote, could be a plus for the White House. Kurson, whose website tracks the music scene, noted that iceCube had major sway in the Black community, adding that he considered NWA's 1998 album Straight Outta Compton, iceCube was a core member of the gangster rap group to be a work of American genius on par with F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby and George Gerwin's Rhapsody in Blue. Quatzner, I don't know how to pronounce his name, y'all. I'm sorry. Quatz, I'm going to call him Quatz. Quatz, who represented the likes of Jennifer Lopez and Enrique Iglesias, and is a former business partner of former Trump strategist Stephen Bannon, was invited to the White House in early September. Participants said the multi-hour discussion focused on policy and didn't touch the campaign. Quatz lobbied for iceCube's proposal, stressing that he was particularly focused on addressing the wealth gap between African Americans and whites. Now, who has done that? Do y'all know of anyone that has done that? Who has done that?
No one.
iceCube did not attend the meeting, wanted to know the White House was serious about his proposal and wasn't simply using him for an election season photo op. See what I'm saying? He didn't even attend.
Yeah. But, you know, we want to cancel him. We want to side-eye him. And we want to think, you know, there's a hidden agenda. And he got something done. You know, the same way they talked about Kanye. Now, we all know Kanye got a few little issues.
Right.
But he went up there in that White House. He had Larry Hoover's grandson. He had all these street people from Chicago up there in the White House to work on prison reform.
They got mad with Steve Harvey, too.
And so, you know, yeah, so it's just unbelievable. I would go meet with Donald Trump because I would be asking him to free R. Kelly. You know, I would be up in the White House. So, you know, I would be like, now, you know, you made president. Now you can you go back and help my brother out? So yeah, I would go in there, and it would be nobody's business why I met with Trump. You know, what was the outcome? People need to start minding their own business when somebody trying to get something done.
And to the ladies in the chat room, if y'all want to get on the panel and voice y'all opinion about this, let me know. I'll drop you the link. Y'all can come on up here and talk about it. So,
yes, Lady Elijah, Chi-Town, Lady T, if you ladies would like to come in, we would love to have you.
So listen to this. Yeah. The article goes on to say, over the Labor Day weekend, Kirsten and his wife invited Quatz to Bedminster. Kushner stopped by their table to chat as they ate. Democrats, too, were interested in cultivating the rapper. On September 8th, Cube and his team had a conversation over Zoom with Biden's campaign, which was represented by Louisiana Representative Cedric Richmond, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, and Senior Advisor Simone Saunders. Shalom, Brother Ariel. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom to you, brother. But iceCube's team left with the impression that Biden's team was less committed. So they did meet. I digress. They did meet. According to a person familiar with the discussion, Biden aides told rapper they agreed with much of his plan, but they wouldn't engage more fully until after the election.
No, and see, that's it. He was forcing their hands now. He wanted them to make a commitment if you win this election, Joe Biden. And he has every right to do that, to force these people's hands. Give us what we want.
Right. As September wore on, iceCube and his advisors continued to lobby the White House during conference calls. On September 14th, the performer and his representatives, again not eager to be seen at the White House, they didn't even want to be seen at the White House, They quietly met in a White House hotel with a group of Trump aides, including Kushner, Jaron Smith, and Brooke Rollins. iceCube's group had prepped for the meeting by consulting with Claude Anderson, a Black economist and author who has argued that African Americans are being served poorly by both parties. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
You see what I'm
Hold
saying?
on. Lady Elijah, I'm going to send you the link.
Yes.
I'm going to send you the link right now.
And let
Okay,
her know that when she click on that link, if her camera is open. So if she don't want to be on camera, she might want to cover her lens or something. So or hit the
turn your camera off because I'm gonna send her the link right now. Make sure you turn off your camera.
Right. So Claude Anderson is a Black economist. And look at that. He went to a Black economist to see what it is he needs to do to invest in the Black communities. Brilliant. Brilliant. In the following days, iceCube's team continued to hash out ideas with the White House and eventually elicited a promise of $500 billion in funding to be included in Trump's election year plan. But that was hardly the end of it. On October 11, Cube released a video in which he made clear that he wasn't endorsing Biden or Trump. You see, y'all out there saying the man is endorsing Donald Trump. Somebody even drew or photoshopped iceCube with a mega hat on his head. Simply because he went to meet with the president of the United States of this here America to see if he can't get something done to better our communities. What is wrong with Black people? Just because
I tell you, we are one of a kind. We'll never get it together.
Just because you meet with the opposite party, that does not mean that you are endorsing them.
No,
it could bring Donald Trump some votes from the Black community, but so the hell what?
At least he giving us something. At least he made a commitment. See, and that's what iceCube, I believe, was doing. He was trying to tie their hands on, you give us this, and you want to win this election. This is what you got to do.
I think it's brilliant what he's doing.
I think it's brilliant that he tied their hands. I'm not looking at him side-eye. I don't look at him like he had an agenda to get votes for Trump. He had a Black agenda for us Negroes out here, and he sought the best possible plan to put in an agenda before the election to force their hands to give us something.
Right. And I can't believe the rapper, The Game, is trying to start a campaign to mute iceCube. What kind of frappernackle bullshit
honey,
is that?
Wait a minute. It'll never happen. I got all kinds of stuff I could send you. It'll never happen. And see, iceCube always been his own man. He done talked about the Jews and everybody. Death certificate. And then, he's a Farrakhan, follower, and he still done survive. So, I'm not worried about, I love me some Cube, and I really have much more respect for him now.
Yes,
I won't throw him away. Shalom, brother Ariel. Okay, Lady Alicia, did you get the link?
So Black people mad that iceCube, a Black man, met with Donald Kingpin Trump. But when Joe Biden didn't want to meet with him until after the so-called election. When Joe Biden met with Cardi B, people was happy. I'm like, why? I never understood. I still don't to this day understand why did he meet with Cardi B? Why are you dealing with the women in the Black community and not the men in the Black community? Why, Joe Biden? Why do you but you can't meet with iceCube? Boy, bye. iceCube goes on to say, this article goes on to say, again, iceCube was not endorsing Biden or Trump, but he expressed criticism of Democrats, saying they hadn't done enough to put forward a plan for African Americans, while noting that Trump had altered his proposal after receiving input from him. Did y'all hear that? I'll read that again. iceCube made it clear that he was not endorsing Biden or Trump, right? But he expressed criticism of Democrats, saying they hadn't done enough to put forward a plan for African Americans, while noting that Trump had altered his proposal after receiving input for him. I got to read this again for my sister because she just hopped back on the platform.
Yes.
It says, like we said before, iceCube made it clear that he was not endorsing Biden or Trump, but he expressed criticism of Democrats, saying they had not done enough to put forward a plan for African Americans, while noting that Trump had altered his proposal after receiving input for him. So, Black people support Democrat has been supporting the Democrat Party for years, for hundreds and hundreds of years, has been supporting the Democratic Party, right? What has the Democratic Party done for the Black community? Other than
hold on for one moment, Lady of Leisure saying that she's on.
I got her.
Oh, okay.
Ready? I'm about to add her right now.
Ready. Okay.
Shalom, Lady of Leisure. Welcome to the panel.
Thank you so much. How are you ladies today?
Fine. Thank you for joining us. And just
absolutely.
Feel free to hop right in. Feel free to hop right in.
Hopping in is what I do.
All right.
I first want to start by saying this. I don't understand what is wrong with our people.
Girl.
Something that we have heard throughout our lives is that one definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Exactly. Yes.
I live in Chicago. Chicago has had a Democratic stronghold for 100 years. We have the highest crime rate, one of the highest crime rates in the nation. We have the third highest murder rate in the nation. You can't afford housing. There are no jobs. Black people live in underinvested neighborhoods and communities.
Yes.
You have substandard public education.
Yes.
What the hell are you voting for? Why do you keep voting for these Democrats? Every year, murders go up. Every year, we have hundreds of murders that go unsolved every single year. 300, 400, 500 every single year.
And DC ain't too far.
They're killing babies. I'm not talking 7, 8-year-olds. I'm talking infants. And yet they run to the poll and they vote Democrat. Why?
What do you think about Barack Obama?
Nothing.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. There's nothing to think about him.
Let
me tell you something.
Has Barack Obama brought anything to the table even close to what iceCube had?
Nothing. let me explain. Let me say this. I understand Black people wanting that iconic symbolism of a Black president.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But in all honesty, Barack Obama did absolutely nothing for Black people. He literally, if you ask me, in my opinion, put us back some.
Yep.
He sold out. I don't know if people understand or know or even remember what 99ers were. 99ers were people who had been unemployed for 99 weeks and were not eligible for an unemployment extension under Barack Obama's administration. Barack Obama had the power to extend that unemployment insurance. He did not. He sold out the 99ers for illegal aliens. Those are your new Negroes. Okay? Illegal aliens are your new Negroes. Make no mistake about it.
I never understood how an illegal alien could come to this country and prosper. I never understood that.
Because Democrats allow them to. Sanctuary cities should be illegal. They should be banned. Listen, as Black people, we are more American than anybody. Yep. Because we derive from Native Americans, who are the true Americans of this country. As that, we cannot go out and break one law knowingly and not be held accountable. Why do we allow people, illegal aliens, and that's what the hell they are, before everybody jump on me about they're not illegal aliens, they're illegal immigrants. By law, there's no such thing as an illegal immigrant. An immigrant is a person who has been allowed by the government to enter the United States legally and allowed to stay. Therefore, it is impossible to be an illegal immigrant because you have no permission to be here.
Right.
Now, our men in my day, and even in my kids' day, did all sorts of legal things to make money, to make ends meet.
Yes.
Everybody had a handyman on the block. Yes. Everybody had an alley mechanic on the block.
Yep.
Okay? Everybody had kids who ran around with their shovels in the winter to shovel your snow to make a few dollars.
And a lawnmower in the summer.
You better know it.
And a rake.
You better know it. Okay?
Yep.
If your roof needed patching, go down the street and get Mr. Johnson.
Right.
You come in our communities now, look up on the roof. Who up there? An illegal alien?
Yeah.
Who's doing all the yard work? Illegal aliens.
Just
in our communities.
Just last week, I was telling the people how the person that lived under me had a leak in their bathroom. A brother came and patched it up. Day later, this Mexican come knocking on the door saying he need to fix my bathroom. So I looked at the order. Well, he didn't even speak English. He just handed me the paper. I said, no, you have to go downstairs. He didn't understand what I was saying. I kept trying to tell him you have to go downstairs. So he didn't understand what I was saying. So I had to go outside, find another Mexican that spoke English to explain it to him. So
exactly. And you see, this is another reason that our communities are as poor as they are. Because make no mistake, we spend more money than any other race in this country, collectively.
Yes.
Okay? We drive the economy.
Black Friday gonna be lit.
But what happens is, in our communities, we allow Asians,
Yep.
Arabs, Mexicans,
Yep.
everybody who owns a store, a corner store, a liquor store, a hair supply store, whatever it is in our community, it's not owned by us.
Right.
Therefore, you have these people making all the revenue in the Black community and taking it out of the Black community.
Absolutely.
They don't live here. They don't shop here. They don't even hire people here.
Absolutely. And that's everywhere.
But they take the revenue and they take it out of your community. You can't go to Chinatown and open nothing being Black. You can't go in the Arab community and open anything. You can't go in the Mexican community and open anything.
Nope.
Because they're not going to allow it. And if by some happenstance you get to do that, they're not going to patronize you.
Right.
Therefore, you won't be able to stay there. Our Black brothers and sisters have to stop being so damn lazy and bypass the Arab store, bypass the Asian store, go a few more blocks, go a few more miles, because one thing is for sure, if they make no money, they can't stay there.
Absolutely.
But you're too lazy. You know, you got so much to do. You don't have time to go an extra mile. You don't have time to say, you know what, I'm going to wait and buy this and go to Jewel or Aldi or whatever.
Right. Let me just say shalom to Brother Moshe Ben Yahuda, my brother. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you. We're talking about iceCube today and how he met with Donald Kingpin Trump and how Black
people... Come on, Donald. Trump 2020, damn it.
And Black people are mad with him for meeting with Donald Trump in reference
Black people should be mad that no one met with Donald Trump sooner.
Wait. What I don't understand is why weren't Black people mad that Joe Biden met with Cardi B? Like, you mad that iceCube, a brother, met with the president of the United States of this here America, but Joe Biden don't want to meet with him until after the so-called election. When Joe Biden met with Cardi B, y'all was happy as hell. Now tell me, what did Cardi B have to offer Joe Biden in reference to the Black community? I'll wait.
First of all, I want to know when Cardi B became Black.
Thank you.
I'd like to pose that question to Kamala Harris as well, but I'll get to that in a moment.
Yes. I've been waiting for that answer for months.
Who we on fire today?
Kamala Harris has no connection to the Black community whatsoever.
Here's the thing. When Kamala Harris was running for prosecutor, I remember this very well. She said that her mother was Arab and Indian, and her father was Chinese.
Her father is Jamaican.
Listen.
Her father is Jamaican.
Listen to me. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Listen to me. Hear me out. She said out of her mouth, I watched her say it, that her mother was Arab and Indian and that her father was Chinese. This is when she was running for prosecutor, by the way, who spearheaded the war on drugs and had all these people, all our brothers locked up for weed. Now that she's running for vice president, her mother is Jamaican and Indian, and her father is Chinese. I still have a problem because when does being Jamaican make you Black?
But not only that, he has no no association with the Black American. He has no ties to Black America. She has no ties to Black America. Her mother's Indian, father Jamaican, and her husband is white. Where's her tie to Black America?
In votes. That's where it is. And we're so, and I want to get back to the question that you posed as to why Black people aren't mad about Cardi B meeting with Joe Biden. And it's very simple. Black people have been led to believe that Republicans are for the rich and Democrats are for the poor. Now, if you just do a little checking, you don't even have to go back too far. Historically, Black people were Republicans.
Right.
Black people didn't really begin to vote Democrat until Martin Luther King's movement and JFK. Now, we want to talk about Dr. King. He was Republican as well. What happened was, when they locked him up down there in Alabama and they were sticking dogs and turning hoses on him and his children, John Fitzgerald Kennedy made a phone call and organized his people to get Martin Luther King out of jail, which he did. Martin Luther King then came out and made a public statement and told Black people and everyone supporting the movement that JFK was a good man, even though he was a Democrat, and asked everyone to support him in his presidential bid. One president, one Democrat, one time. Black people have been voting Democrat ever since. And
so why is it that Black people get so mad, so pissed off if we decide to vote Republican?
Again, it goes back to their belief that Republicans are for the rich. And I want to expand on that as well, because that is the most ridiculous thing in the world. What is it that any of us, black, white, yellow, brown, red, what is it that any of us could do without the rich? What can we do? Where you gonna get your electricity from? Who you gonna buy a house from? Who you gonna work for?
Well, we are living in the land of our captors. We live in the land of our captors. So it's hard to do anything without them.
You can't do anything without them. And that is the bottom line. How many black people own major corporations that you can work for? How many black people own electricity, gas?
Right.
Where are you gonna buy your clothes?
Right.
You understand? Our basic needs are met by the rich.
Yeah.
And I say that in the way that they are the ones who provide every service that we need. How many black owned grocery chains are there?
Right.
There is nothing that we both need each other. But we honestly, being poor or middle class, we need rich people way more than they need us. Because they can take their millions and billions and go buy an island somewhere and live happily ever after.
Right.
We can't do that. They need us to make those billions But once they're already made, again, they can pick up their marbles and go home.
Right.
Now, what would we do if every corporation, if every business, if every utility company, every phone service decided, you know what, we don't want to do this in America. Let's all pack up and leave. What the hell would you do? You got nowhere to work. You got nowhere to shop. You have nothing. So
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Can y'all hear me? Because my mic kind of fell. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This fallacy that it's a bad thing to support rich people, it's just that. It is a fallacy. If corporations did not get tax breaks, they pack up and move to a state that will give them some. Now, Illinois is a perfect example of that. When Rahm Emanuel was our mayor, he had to promise damn near his great-grandchildren to get businesses back in Chicago because they were leaving, because taxes were so high, because mandates on businesses were so stringent. And they were moving to other states where they didn't have, those sanctions put upon them. So, Black people, get over that. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, they for the rich. Well, what can you do without them? Let all the rich pack up and leave the country and see where you are. It is just crazy. It's just crazy to me.
It drives me crazy. Once again, y'all, we're talking about iceCube and his proposal that he went and
Lady of Bleacher, what do you think about
can y'all hear me?
iceCube's plan that he was
that.
putting into effect and trying to tie their hand?
Listen, I'm happy that someone, give me one moment, somebody at my door. I'm happy that someone attempted to do something. You can be mad all you want. What's your plan? What have you done?
Hey, stranger, how you doing?
I'm great. Can you sit that down for me, please? Thank you so much. I'm sorry about that, guys. UPS. Nobody has. Who went to Barack Obama and said, hey, can you do something for your people? When we had the highest murder rate in the city of Chicago, which was near 600 in a summer, they talked about Barack Obama on every media outlet there was because he didn't even address it. His hometown. And he made no comment. He gave no support. And after the media blitz of his inaction, then he said, you know what? I sent a statement. It got lost. You sent a statement and it got lost. He didn't offer us anything.
But he sure uplifted the LGBTQ community.
Because he needed votes. You see, during his second term, he thought he was going to lose that election. And this is what people need to understand. There are only so many people in the United States. You can't create more people. So what you have to do when you need more votes is that you have to expand your voter base. The illegal aliens and the LGBT community was the expansion of his voter base.
Mm.
And that, that's what caused him to win the second term. Yes, he lifted them up. He gave them gay marriage. Now, I'm wondering what happened to the constitutional amendment that says you cannot make a law against nature.
Mm.
What happened to that? He did nothing for Black people. In my opinion, he screwed up the nation. He even went so far as to say for the LGBT community that they were going to start teaching your kindergartners about 2 mommies and 2 daddies in the public school system.
Yep.
Now, in my opinion, that stumps on my parental rights. What if I don't want my child to know about 2 mommies and 2 daddies at 5 years old? He gave illegal aliens free in-state tuition, which means all the schools are going to be filled with the illegal aliens. So if your child needs to go to college and there's no space for them, then you've got to pay that out-of-state tuition for your child to go to college, but you live right here.
Mm-mm.
The idolization of Barack Obama needs to stop. Worst president I've ever seen in my life. I'm 62 years old. I did not vote for him the first time. I did not vote for him the second time, because I remember very well when my stepfather, I say my dad because that's who he was all my life. When my dad worked for the steel mill here in Chicago, which was a major driving force, pardon me? Barack Obama talked them into allowing him to lead the negotiations. When he was done leading those negotiations, the steel mill was closed and nobody had a job or benefits or anything.
Wow.
And he was just an advocate then. He wasn't, a political leader. He didn't hold a political office. So I remember Barack Obama very well. I remember how he left so many thousands of people without jobs.
Yep, including myself.
That went for the steel mill here in Chicago. Back in the day, our parents may have worked harder physically, but they had much better opportunities than we have today. They may not have had a degree, but they could go to Helene Curtis and make $15 an hour in the 70s. Okay? They could go to Brock's Candy and make $10, $12 an hour and all the overtime they could get. We had a booming manufacturing industry in the city of Chicago, where people who were uneducated could make a real living, could buy a home, a new car, put food on the table, send their children to school,
So what happened to that?
What happened to that is that Mr. Obama and other leaders before him, Democratic leaders in our city, because it's been Democrat for 100 years, wanted to increase employers' participation in terms of monies that they contributed, in terms of the taxes that they paid for their employers. They essentially ran away all of those businesses. Now, all of that comes with regentrification. Because when you want a city to be rich and white, the first thing you do is remove anything that'll keep a black person there. So if you don't have a degree and every job is requiring a degree, what can you do? You have to go somewhere where you can get a job. Or if you can't speak Spanish and high-paying jobs are requiring you to speak Spanish, what do? You got to take a lower-paying job or you got to leave the state, which is what many people did. Well, when that didn't work out, then they were screaming, bring back manufacturing. Why? It should have never left. And they've done the same thing with the illegal aliens in terms of construction, in terms of landscaping. I went to Home Depot 2 days ago. There are 7, 8 Mexicans standing outside Home Depot waiting for anybody that comes out that may need them to complete a project for them. Now, if there were 7 or 8 brothers standing in front of Home Depot, the police getting called. It's mob action. Why Black people allow these things in their communities, I will never understand. And to me, it's just laziness. Send 7 brothers to Humboldt Park and see what happened to them. Send them to an Arab community and see what happens to them. Send them to Chinatown to stand in front of a business and see what happens to them. But you allow every last one of those groups to come in your community and take away everything that you worked for. Everything. So now that our Black men and women don't have these things to do legally to make ends meet, they go the illegal route because everybody's going to eat. I don't care what you say, right, wrong, or indifferent. If it comes down to my child going hungry and me committing a crime, guess what's going to happen?
Right.
So for them to say, for us to look over the illegal aliens in this country because they want a better life, well, damn, I want one too. If you're going to excuse their illegal behavior, then don't lock up my brother when he's still a box of Pampers.
So, Lady of Leisure, you do know that Donald Trump used part of iceCube's black contract to
for the $500 billion.
Yes.
And you know, and you do know he announced that, Donald Trump announced that weeks ago. He didn't say that iceCube did it, but in a rally that he had, he stated that he was given $500 billion, you know, for the restructure and upbuild of the Black community. He said that weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
that is a wonderful thing. And I wouldn't care if it came from Donald Trump. I wouldn't care if it came from Melania Trump. I wouldn't care who it came from. Here's the fact. It's never come from anyone else ever on either side.
Right. Right. So for those of you all who just stepped into the room, we're talking about iceCube and his proposal to Donald Trump and how Black people are pissed off at iceCube for meeting with Donald Trump. But they won't pissed off at Joe Biden for meeting with Cardi B. See, Joe Biden ain't gonna meet with no Black man from our community like that. He'd rather meet with. Exactly. He'd rather. That should tell y'all something right there.
He's scared.
He would rather meet with Cardi B, who's not even Black. She's so quick to throw that N-word around like she's a Black person. But Black people are mad at iceCube. Somebody help me make it make sense. Make it make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense, and it's never going to make sense for anyone who has the ability to think independently. The problem with Black America and a lot of America is that they're media driven. Mm-hmm. They believe everything that they see and hear, be it television media, social media. You know, if you say something enough, and if enough people repeat it, it holds the value of being true when you hear it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So true.
Right?
Right. That's media.
Yep.
The media is the devil.
So people really need to use Google and their internet for more than making stupid comments on social media. Do some research. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. They give everything negative Donald Trump does, they parade in the media. Black people don't even know what he's done because you know why? They never tell you. They never tell you the law that is getting Black men out of jail, out of federal penitentiary right now was constructed by Donald Trump and implemented by Donald Trump.
So let's talk about that for a minute. Kamala Harris. Okay. Let's talk about Kamala Harris when she was a senator. And talk about how she put Black men away.
She spearheaded the law that criminalizes marijuana. Mm-hmm. Now, who sell more marijuana than us? Black people. But yet she stands here today on this presidential platform talking about reform. But you started this.
Right. And wasn't Joe Biden a part of that same program?
He was.
So he put a lot of Black people away too.
Yeah, Joe Biden was part of that 3 strikes you out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The bottom line is the Biden-Obama administration was a total failure for Black people. Period. And if you ask me, it was a total failure for America. Marriage equality opened the door up for so much sick, twisted, sexual shit. Excuse me. Stuff. It's ridiculous. You know, people are marrying themselves. They're marrying their siblings. They're marrying their children. You know, what did Obama say? Love is love. It don't matter who you love. What signal does that send to an already sick, twisted individual? It doesn't matter who you love. We are supposed to be accepting of everything we've been taught against our entire lives. We're supposed to throw our values out of the window. God forbid you be a Christian. You know, he stepped on our rights. He stepped on our religious freedoms. People were losing their jobs, their businesses, because of their religious beliefs that, you know, I don't want to support gay people. That should be their right. If I run a business as a religious entity, I should have the right to turn away a gay person because of my religious beliefs. That's what the Constitution said our religious freedoms were. Right. Obama took that away from us with gay marriage. People being sued, fired, run out of business. Also, he can increase his voter base.
Yep.
Girl, you spitting the truth. You spitting them facts, Alicia.
I am having a problem hearing you, and I don't know why.
Can you hear me now?
You sound very far away.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, B.
You guys sound very far away. But as long as you can hear me, it's okay.
Oh, yes. You've been spitting that truth, telling the facts. Yeah.
You know, I just want Black people to get out of their own way. Get out of your own way.
Yes.
It's okay to cross the street. Ain't no cars coming. Ain't no gunmen. It is okay. You know, it's okay to reject a majority of an opinion. It's okay.
Right.
You know, the premise of this country is that we all have a right to our opinions. And the way that Obama's administration led with all of this inclusiveness, now, if your opinion doesn't agree with the majority, you're canceled, you're ostracized. And that's absolutely ridiculous because nobody has the exact same opinion about anything. I was married 27 years. I didn't agree with my damn husband half the time. How am I supposed to agree with everybody in the damn country? That's clone behavior.
Right.
I'm supposed to accept illegal aliens. I'm supposed to accept the gay men kissing in front of my 9-year-old grandbaby. No, the hell I don't.
And not only that, they are teaching our babies. They are having transgender people go to the schools and teach our babies about their lifestyle.
Exactly.
In the libraries, in the bookstores. That is demonic. That is demonic.
It absolutely is. You know, and people want to call you homophobic, xenophobic. No. I have a right to my values. They don't have to agree with yours. They don't have to align with yours. Everyone has that right, or should have. And that's what our freedom was based on in this United States of America, that we had the right to be what we wanted to be different, to challenge, to question, to progress. Black people haven't progressed.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that the Democratic Party or liberals or whatever they want to be called help in demasculating the black man? Or is it emasculating the black man?
I think that any part of socialism emasculates all of us. I really do. But absolutely. Because the thing is, you've got all of these women under all of these different movements. First of all, damn it, I was born liberated because I was born free. So I don't need a group of anybody to tell me how to be a woman. I don't need anybody to tell me I don't need a man. God made me intentionally for a man.
Right.
So now, I may not need him to support me financially, but I want him to.
Right.
And you should too. But yes, they emasculate not just black men, black people, period. They want to give you everything. I was having a conversation the other day. Here in Chicago, they pay people to walk your kids to school. You no longer have the responsibility of a parent. You are dependent on the government for safe passage for your child to go to school. Whatever happened to you getting up off your butt, taking them? Paying the teenager down the street to take them if you can't. You're dependent on them to feed them. You're dependent on them to get them to school. I had a woman tell me the government is supposed to help. No, they're not. The government was not in the bed with me one time when I got pregnant with any of my children. I agree there should be help for those who need it, but welfare should not be the norm. It shouldn't be the norm. We shouldn't be kicking our men to the curb, allowing them to go to jail, and out here, babies having babies, not even raising children, just basically housing and feeding them. It's an emasculation of black people, period. Not just our black men. But yes, I do agree. I do agree with that.
Wow. So, once again, I am very thankful, or I'm glad that iceCube did what he did. This article says
I am as well.
This article says that he met with Joe Biden's camp or whatever. They seemed like they weren't interested, but told him that they'll look at it after the election. And for me, time is of the essence. We don't have time for you to wait until the election get here. So that's why he went straight to Donald Trump. And I'm not mad at him with that. I don't understand.
I applaud him for it. I applaud him for it. I'm mad at all these black people that's mad at him. You know, because everybody has something to say, but nobody has nothing to do.
Right.
What do you propose? Where is your agenda? You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Who can you send to the White House?
So, actually, with iceCube going to Donald Trump and telling him what is needed in the black community, that may have been what Donald Trump needed. Maybe he didn't know what was needed.
And you know what? And that's another thing, too. Donald Trump is an older white man.
Right.
And let's just keep it 100. Older, young, white, you have not had the same experiences as black people have. And there are things that they just don't freaking know.
Right.
Donald Trump was a rich white man. He ain't been in the hood. He doesn't know the plight of black people. Where would he learn it?
He'll never know either.
Instead of condemning him for that, or anyone, I'm very glad that he was willing to learn and to listen and to act, which is something that we have not had, is action from any president in terms of black people. You know, everybody wants to have a conversation. Oh, I think it's great we're having the conversation. We've been having the conversation 200 years.
We've been talking for a long time.
We've been having the conversation 200 years. There is nothing we're saying today that we didn't say in the 60s. They were killing us then, the police, they're killing us now. Nothing
Exactly.
It's got, the only thing that changed is cell phones and the ability to record it. That is the only thing that's changed. The action hasn't changed. It's always gone on in our community.
Right.
Talking changes nothing. We've been talking for 200 years. It's time for somebody to act in a major way. And I think that Donald Trump pledges $500 billion. That's with a B, y'all.
Right.
I think that is a major accomplishment. I think it's a major commitment.
And then my other thing is black people so pissed off at iceCube, he don't even support Donald Trump. He don't even support Donald Trump.
So what if he did? So what if he did?
Right, true, but the fact that he don't and y'all still mad.
Again, it's ignorance. And ignorance is just not knowing. It's not being stupid. It's not being dumb. Because stupidity is knowing better and doing it anyway. Oh, wait. Anyway. You know, it's because, again, they've been media driven. They listen to the media. They watch the news. They hear all of this stuff. And that's what they go with. You know, they take, now, don't get me wrong. Donald Trump has made many blunders. In terms of speaking, things that he says, I actually find it quite funny. But he's Donald Trump. And what you see is what you get.
Right.
And I would rather have a Donald Trump than somebody standing on TV telling me what I want to hear and not doing a damn thing.
Like April said one time, at least we know where Donald Trump is coming from.
Exactly. And I would rather know than not know, than to believe one thing and find out that it's something different. Because that's where a lot of people's unwillingness to vote comes from. My vote don't count. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything when you keep voting the same way and expecting something different to happen.
Right.
You know, at what point do you take control of what's happening in your community and do something different for it? Democrats are Democrats. They're going to stay the same. The reason that Donald Trump is president today is because Barack Obama and Biden were president and vice president 4 years ago. It was everything that they did and didn't do that led to Trump being president. America did not like Obama's administration. America certainly did not prosper under Obama's administration. Have we forgotten that we were in the biggest recession under Obama since the Great Depression? And it wasn't caused by a pandemic. It was caused by him doing exactly what you all claim you're against, giving billions and billions of dollars to Freddie and Fannie, giving billions of dollars to the auto industry and leaving the American people with nothing. How many more food stamps did you get under Obama? None. Matter of fact, he reduced them. We had the highest unemployment rate in 50 years under the Obama administration. He gave you nothing. Nothing. He didn't give you an extra food stamp. He didn't change the requirement that you had to meet to get a food stamp. He didn't change anything.
Well, he did put $20 on people's food stamp card, though. I got to give him that.
$20. He got out $20. How many times did he give him $20?
I think he did it twice.
Woo-wee.
I know he did in D.C. I don't know about the rest of the country.
I don't know anything about it. He gave you a whole $20 for 8 years of poverty, $40 in total.
He put money on the food stamp card. But you know what? I just realized something. My trade, I'm a data entry clerk, right?
Okay.
I schooled for it, but I was very good at it. Data entry. I've been doing it since I was 15, 16 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as Obama get into office, well, his second term, the job that I was working for, making good money, the best money I ever made in my life, suddenly, because I didn't have a degree, they replaced my position, and I haven't been able to find work
since Obama. There are so many stories like that. I have a friend who, again, lost her job with the downturn of the economy under the Obama administration, had not had a job in 7 years. Almost all while Obama was president. Did not get a job until Trump was president. So, when they ask the question, are you better off now than you were then? I really don't think people can honestly say they are not. Because under the Obama administration, times were so hard. There were no jobs. He was not extending unemployment for people. He went on television and he said, hey, if you hire people who have been unemployed at least 6 months, we'll give you a tax break. Well, that was well and good for those people. But people who are only unemployed for 6 months still can collect unemployment for another 6 months. What about the people who had no more unemployment to collect? So that put you a step back. Then he came back and he said, hey, if you hire veterans, he said veterans. Well, we didn't know it was their children and spouses too. If you hire veterans, we'll give you a tax break. Okay, now you back 2 steps. Then he came and he said, hey, I will not sanction any company that's hired illegals. Well, I'll be damned. Now he puts it back 3 steps. So where are you in all of this? Because most Black people have been out of work for a year. You can't get unemployment. You can't get a job. Any employer is going to hire the person that's been out of work the least amount of time. Most employers don't even want to hire you if you've been out of work for a certain length of time. So people who have been out of work for over a year, you got no work, you got no unemployment, you're screwed. In this city, homelessness was through the roof. It was very hard. I can only speak for the city of Chicago. It was extremely hard during the Obama administration for the majority of Black and brown people. It really was. So many people didn't have a job for his entire administration.
Well, you know,
Now, if you're older, God forbid you're over 50, who's hiring you?
you remember
They're
when
hiring the young people.
DC was called Chocolate City?
Mm-hmm.
Child,
I do.
DC haven't been since Obama came here. DC haven't been Chocolate City since.
Not at all.
It's so many white people in
People
DC.
don't even know what that is. They don't even know what that means.
So many white people in DC right now. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. Exactly.
That gentrification is real.
It's very real. And it's extremely real here in Chicago. Now they're trying to do a little bit better, but what is it really that you can do? You know, I lost everything under the Obama administration. Everything. People, you understand, people who did not have money don't understand how devastating Obama's administration was. Because when we lost all of our investments, all of our millions of dollars, he gave billions of dollars to everybody else. And he did not make them give us back any of our money.
Right.
Everything that we lost in the stock market, we lost.
Gone.
Even though you propped up Fannie and Freddie with billions of dollars, and you propped up the motor industry with billions of dollars, you did not place one condition on any of those people to give us back our money or rehire their employees. They hired new employees for lesser wages.
Right. So do you think Donald Trump is going to serve another term?
I don't know. I really don't know. I hope so, but I really don't know.
I said that he will. I said that he will. But now
I hope that he does.
Now I don't know. I don't like either candidate, to be honest with you. So I don't think
Exactly. Exactly. I'm not that crazy. You know, I'm not happy about the way that he's handled this COVID situation. I'm not happy with that at all. But now,
what did he not do, or what did he not do?
What he didn't do was listen to the scientists. That's what he didn't do. I'm not mad about it because, you know, when you go back and if people want to truly remember the truth, I believe that he acted in the best way possible for what he knew. This is a virus no one has ever seen before. So when he said, hey, we're going to close off entry to China, what did the Democrats say? Racist. And that's exactly what he should have done. I felt he should have took it a step further and closed off entry from other foreign countries as well that had the virus. But they said, no, you can't do that. You've got Americans over there that need to come home. No, you don't.
Right.
And even if you did, they're there. They should have stayed there. That's just my opinion. What I don't like about that, I don't like the way that he handled it after that. I don't like him trying to appease the American people or keep them from being frantic. I don't like that he didn't mandate wearing masks because that is the only thing that truly assists in keeping this virus contained. So
whatever came about
with that.
Whatever came about,
as Black people, we allow one thing to stop us from moving forward. Now, there are so many things that Trump has done that I'm very pleased with. And I struggle all the time with that. If I'm going to let this one thing stop me from voting Trump, I don't know. I really don't know. And I think that he's become so defensive because he's attacked all the time. I think that he's now living in the land of defense. I don't think that he's focused on the nation's business because he's so busy defending all of the attacks against him.
Whatever happened to those safe states for illegal immigrants? Do they still exist?
No.
Because I know he was trying to dismantle those states at one time.
No. Oh, you mean the sanctuary states?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they exist. Yes. You know, that's because something that he's still working on. You know, it didn't stop, it just stopped being in the media. And that really should be to think that. I mean, seriously, if you think about this, these are elected officials, be it local government, whatever, your mayor, your representatives, your congressmen. They are elected by United States citizens to represent citizenry, the people of the United States of America, the citizens of the United States of America.
Right.
They take an oath to uphold the law of the United States of America. But yet, They thwart every law when it comes to illegal aliens. How is that possible? None of them, no congressperson, no state representative should hold that office when they lobby for and support anything that goes against the very laws that they made.
Right.
Congress makes immigration laws. So if you don't like them, then damn it, change them. But don't ignore them and don't uphold illegal behavior for illegal aliens when you won't uphold it for anybody else trying to have a better life.
Right.
You don't think my child going hungry versus eating is a better life? So if I have to go and get food for my child or even me, you don't think I'm doing it to have a better life? You don't think that I should be excused for that? Because I broke a law, they break them every day. And not only do they break the law, they thwart breaking the laws in our face. I'm looking at a whole damn march, a whole banner, illegal and not afraid. It should have been a damn ice bus at every rally, rounding their ass up, locking them up. Illegal and not afraid. Ain't that some mess?
Let me ask you this. What is the difference from, I don't even know what Kanye West brought to the table and what iceCube has brought to the table?
What Kanye West brought to the table, you have to forgive me, I can't think of the name of the law right now. What Kanye West brought to the table was Donald Trump changing the law for certain people who've been in prison for X amount of years.
Wait, you went real low. Your volume went real low. Say that
Can you
again.
hear me now?
Yes.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So Kanye West brought a law to Donald Trump that would allow certain prisoners to be released who've served so many amount of years of their sentence because they have been, what's the word that I'm looking for? They have been over sentenced, basically. Where you have a white man who's committed the same crime and he has normally been given 6 to 10 years, where a black man committed that crime has been given 40.
I see. Okay, I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Kanye said, hey, let's make this law for everybody. And he had all of the statistics, he had it all. And Trump said, okay. So now there are so many people who have benefited from that law, who've gotten out of jail, who's getting out of jail right now because of that law, because it disproportionately affected black men.
Right.
You don't hear about that. You didn't hear about that in the news.
Could this be the same law that was put into place during Kamala Harris's time or Joe Biden's time?
No,
The law
it goes
says
beyond that. It goes far beyond that.
Okay.
It goes far beyond that.
Okay.
But he changed it. He implemented it, and people were. I can't think of the name of the law. And here's the crazy part about it. I actually have a case on it right now. That's the crazy part. I can't think of the name of the law. But
it's the First Step Act.
There it is. Thank you. Thank you, Miss April.
Okay.
Yeah, the First Step Act. Now, I personally know 5 people who've been released under that, and I'm waiting on a decision on someone right now who we filed to be released under the First Step Act.
Is that R. Kelly?
Is what R. Kelly, the person that I'm.
Yeah.
No. R. Kelly hasn't been convicted.
So why is he?
R. Kelly.
Why is he in jail?
Okay.
Why are they
Kelly
holding
is
him?
in jail. Pardon me?
Go ahead, finish.
R. Kelly is in jail because he's charged under the RICO Act, because he's charged with conspiracy, because he's charged with racketeering. Under the RICO Act, how can I put this? Under the RICO Act, there is what's called a presumption of detention, which simply means that if you're charged with certain crimes, you are presumed by law to be a flight risk, therefore detained. Point blank, period. It's not all the stuff everybody's saying. It's not the conspiracy. It's none of that. It's the law. I think people
he's not serving time for the women that allegedly accuse him of all these things.
I'm sorry, say that again.
He has not been tried for all these things that the women accuse him of.
No, he is not. No.
That's interesting.
He has not been to trial. He hasn't been to trial on any of his charges. But to be detained, you don't have to have gone to trial. I mean, if you go to trial and you're found guilty, you're going to be detained anyway because you're going to prison. You know, he doesn't have to be tried to be detained. That's the purpose of the Bail Reform Act. You see, presumption of detention is under the Bail Reform Act. And again, it says that if you're charged with certain crimes that holds a mandatory sentence of a certain amount of years, then you are presumed by law to be a flight risk and that you can be detained. So that's why he's still in jail. That's why he does not have a bond. Anything else you want to ask me about that?
That's interesting. I find that quite interesting.
Because why? Why do you find it quite interesting?
I have not been following the case at all.
Gotcha.
I refuse.
Why?
Because I don't know what's true. I don't know if he's telling the truth. I don't know if they're telling the truth. So I just decided to back away from it.
I got you. Okay. I understand that. I absolutely understand that. And see, to me, and I know how crazy this is going to sound, but it just is what it is. In the beginning of all of this, I never thought that he did not do what they said he did.
Okay.
I've never thought that. However, I did think that the way that they went about bringing him to justice wasn't proper.
It definitely wasn't.
Well, it was, but I didn't know that at the time. I thought that because here's the thing. People believe that all of this started with the documentary, but it didn't. And this is what people refuse to accept. It didn't start with the documentary. He had been under federal investigation long before the documentary.
Exactly. It took me months to watch that documentary. Oh, she's gone. She fell off. Hey, April, you still there?
I'm still here.
Yeah. Speaking about the documentary, it took me months to watch that documentary. While everybody was talking about it, I was just sitting back in the cut.
Watched it.
You haven't watched it yet?
No, and I never will.
The main thing about that documentary was that I didn't like, and this may sound crazy, was Charlemagne. Charlemagne had the audacity to put his 2 cents in towards the end of the documentary, yet he's been charged with the same thing.
I know. They all have.
Accused.
Bad about him.
He was accused of the same thing and had a nerve to be in the documentary.
Yeah. Let me see where she went.
Well, while you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and finish reading this article because this is a fascinating article.
Okay.
I think I stopped at where he said he didn't support either side. He said, okay, he said straight up, I believe the Democrats, they've been nice, they've been cordial to speak to, they've been cordial, so to speak. He said, I don't really see them pushing their policies in any particular direction. It's still minority, people of color, shit that don't necessarily include us, that don't necessarily include Black Americans. That is so true. I'm so glad he said that.
Yeah.
The term, people of color, I cannot stand that term.
Yeah.
Don't put me in there with people of color. I'm Black. I'm a Black woman. I'm Hebrew. Don't put me in that category with people of color. And when you say people of color, you're talking about Asians, you're talking about Hispanics, and all those other people that have a little melanin in their skin. But a lot of those people don't get treated the way we get treated.
Nope.
Out of the whole group that's considered of color, dark-skinned people like me or dark-skinned people like you, you know, we're the ones that get treated the worst. So I refuse to be included in that people of color. I don't like that term. Okay. Welcome back of leisure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just saying about that R. Kelly documentary. It took me months to watch it.
I never watched it. I never watched it. You know, of course, I've seen little snippets of it here and there. Right. Never watched it. Right. Have no desire to watch it. Will never watch it.
I broke down and watched it. I broke down and watched it.
What was your takeaway? What was your takeaway from watching it?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I just cannot believe that. Maybe it's me. That if he was doing all those things to them, and why stay? I refuse to believe that they could not get away.
Okay, and that's a big problem because many people think that way, and it really is a problem because when you are, you know, it's the same as any woman in any abusive relationship. Why do they stay? People do this every single day of the year. Stay in abusive relationships for whatever reason it is. Those of us who've not been in that situation don't understand or know what it is. Now right. You're talking about some very, very young girls, okay? Who, of course, any young person can be manipulated by an older person. Any young person. True. So it's very, I think we don't want to believe it because it sounds so way out, you know? And it is. It's way out there. But if you understand the cycle of abuse, if you understand the breakdown of the psyche that goes behind it, if you're in my home and your mother doesn't call, your father doesn't call, they don't come and see you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I'm saying to you every day, they don't give a damn about you. They didn't even call you for your birthday. Don't nobody care about you but me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you hear that long enough and you think that you see actions that support that, then that's what you start to believe. Now here you are, I'm 17. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nowhere to go. My parents don't want me. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, that was me and my husband's question. Where were the parents?
And I hate that question because I know one of the parents was around. I know that they were doing, but again, you're talking about a man at the time with unlimited means, with an entire entourage and staff that is paid to do whatever the hell he tells them to do.
True.
So if mom is calling and I'm answering the phone saying she don't want to talk to you, click.
True.
She doesn't know mom is calling because she's being told mom ain't called you. They don't care about you. And you know, somebody sent me something late last night that broke my heart, but it was so interesting. And it was R. Kelly in an interview sitting up saying how a step-by-step play of how to brainwash somebody.
Mm.
And that so much comes out that really hurts my feelings. But let me say this and let me be very clear. I do not believe that Robert Sylvester Kelly should spend the rest of his life in jail. I don't believe that. I believe his victim. And it's a hard position to be in. But I also believe that he's a victim.
Mm. And he's a victim in what way?
In the same way that they were. In the same way that they were.
You know, he was abused by his sister.
Right. I heard about that.
Yeah.
He was abused by his sister for 8 years. Sexually abused by his sister for 8 years. He was abused even younger than that by some man in the community that paid his mom $5,000 to keep quiet about it.
Mm. So I see what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And there are other things that will come out as at trial as well.
The whole
So
case
I see him. Pardon me.
I said the whole case is so sad for him, being a child that couldn't read, write.
My thing is that nobody, as a child, as a young man, as an artist, as a mega goddamn star, nobody protected him. Nobody attempted to get help for him. Nobody.
And there are people that knew his situation.
There were people who knew his situation. I mean, come on. Your sister's abusing you. And his brother sits on TV and said, well, if he was getting sexually abused by my sister, he probably liked it.
Yeah,
what?
I saw that.
Imagine being that 8-year-old little boy.
Don't know what.
If this is how your own brother felt, imagine how your mom would have felt. If this is how your own sister treated you, the person who's supposed to be watching and taking care of you while your mama worked every day.
Right.
If your own mother got money from a man who sexually abused you at 5, 6 years old, you pretty much have to feel absolutely, completely invaluable to nobody on this earth. So
Wow.
I am not at all attempting to excuse the things that he's done. I believe he did them. But I also believe that he's a victim. I know he's a victim as well. And you know, there are people who say, well, he had time to do this and he had all the money in the world and he could have gotten help and he could have done this. Well, you can flip that around on the victims as well, or their parents, or anyone. When you live in dysfunction, and dysfunction is all that you know,
Right.
how do you get out of that?
Right.
I don't believe that he's mentally, how can I put this? I think that he is probably mentally inept. That's the best word I could think of right now.
Meaning?
Meaning that he may be 52, but he's probably mentally the age of the girls that he was having sex with. I don't think that Robert Kelly, I think he's mentally challenged. Let's say that word. I think he's mentally challenged. You would have to be. You know, here is a man as a child was sexually abused by everybody. His sister, the guy down the block, the grown man.
Right.
The only parent that you have, your mother, further invalidates you by taking money and keeping quiet about what this man did to you. This was his mother, the only parent that he had. Nobody took him to counseling. Nobody got him help. Nobody got him help as a child. Nobody forced him to get help as an adult, because he could have been forced to get help as an adult when he married Aaliyah.
Right.
Aaliyah's mother has been lying about that marriage for 30 years.
As far as
Aaliyah and Robert being married, her mother has been lying, saying it never happened until the beginning of this year.
Oh, see, I didn't know that she was denying that.
Girl, all 30 years. As soon as, even after the documentary came out, oh, they're lying. I was always with Aaliyah. Me and my husband were always there. Nobody ever saw her. You're a liar.
But wasn't she the one that got the marriage annulled? Allegedly?
Allegedly. I have not seen that annulment. I know that it exists. I'm not standing here saying, oh, it didn't happen. But that annulment, and this is what's very strange to me, that annulment took place in Michigan. They were married here. I was actually working for the county clerk's office when they got married. So I know the marriage took place. I know it was a legitimate marriage as far as the county knew. Did nobody know she had a fake ID?
Right.
So for people saying, oh, the marriage certificate is fake, no, it's not fake. Validated by the Cook County Clerk's office.
Right.
The marriage license, because see here, you have to fill out a marriage application to get a marriage license to get married. After you're married, whoever marries you, the officiant turns in the marriage license, and then the county issues you a marriage certificate.
Right.
In order to get the marriage license, both parties must be there present with state ID to prove they're of legal age, which they did have. Her identification said she was 18. It was a state-issued Illinois state identification. There was no reason for anybody to question that. They got the marriage license. They got married. The guy who married them, the preacher, turned it in. They got a marriage certificate.
Right.
So the marriage absolutely, positively took place. But Aaliyah's mother, for all of these years, swore it was a rumor, it was a lie. Now, the annulment was filed for in Michigan. That annulment was never turned into Illinois. It was never turned into Cook County. Their marriage is still on record.
Mm.
Now, what she did, what Aaliyah did, I'm sorry. What Aaliyah did was that she filed for the marriage records to be sealed here in Illinois. The marriage was never annulled here in Cook County, because when we annul records, marriage records, any record, when a marriage is annulled, it ceases to exist. Everything that had to do with those records are destroyed. Period. That's the way it's been since the 60s. That's the way it still is to this day. So if an annulment had taken place, there would be no marriage certificate on file.
Right.
It
Well,
would have been destroyed.
We have been in on live since we've been live for 2 hours and 12 minutes.
You telling me it's time to go?
I would like to
Boy,
know.
this has been a great live.
It's been a great live.
I thank you guys so much for allowing me to run my mouth.
Anytime you want to come over here and run your mouth, you are welcome, honey. Yes.
Watch out.
With that being said, I would like to know, do you have any closing remarks on the iceCube situation or anything we talked about? What are your closing remarks?
My closing remarks are: Black people, grow up. Mm-hmm. You know, stop biting the hand that feeds you. The man went to Donald Trump because he's the president of the United States of America. He didn't go there with his damn voting card in his hand. He went there to get help for the Black community. He don't need it.
Right.
You know, stop being reactionary. Stop being reactionary. That's all I got to say about that. And do some research.
Yes. Google is your friend.
Google is your friend for real.
Absolutely.
And again, I want to thank you guys.
I also want to say,
Hello?
You still there?
I'm here. Okay.
April?
Miss April said something?
Yeah, I think she got cut off. Hello, April? Let me let her know her sound went out.
Yeah.
We've been having some problems with this live stream. When we first hopped on, my mic wouldn't work.
People don't want to hear the truth. People don't want the truth out.
I'm telling you. But this thing about iceCube, it really pisses me off. It really shows me how ignorant some Black people really are. We got to wake up.
Yes. Yes, wake up, Black people.
It's time to wake up. Seriously. Let me let her know that her sound went out because she probably
because I'd like to hear what she was trying to say.
I'm gonna tell her to fall out and come back in. Okay, she fell out. She'll be back. But I thoroughly enjoyed your commentation, your thoughts. Really,
thank you so much.
I really appreciate you hopping on the panel and talking about this. It really.
I really appreciate you all having me.
Absolutely.
Miss April, did you have some last comments for us?
She fell off. Let me see if she's gonna come back. I'm waiting for her to come back. I would love to hear what she has to say.
Me too.
So I am in Washington, D.C. I met April through Spreaker. You know, she was a DJ on this platform that I joined, and we just hit it off.
Exactly.
I guess I've known her for I think it's been about a year now. We never met personally, face to face, but that's my sister. And look,
Same here.
And look,
she's back.
She said she's coming back on.
Okay. We met through this R. Kelly saga. Again, we've never met face to face.
Right.
I think we saw each other for the first time, I think yesterday on Messenger.
Oh, okay.
And damn, we look like we could be related.
And y'all from the same area, right?
Yeah, well, she's from Joliet. It's just right outside of Chicago. I'm in Chicago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Are you back?
Okay, I'm back. Girl, I don't know what they doing out here. And then this power, so I came back in on the phone. They must be working on something, because Lord knows they can't cut our utilities off while the COVID is going on.
Right.
But yeah, and as you can see, I respect everybody's views and what they believe in. You see how she feels about R. Kelly. I respect her. We are still friends. I don't fall out with people over their, of our differences of opinions. And but far as what I wanted to say on iceCube is, Black people, you know what? Y'all some sad people. Some sad people. No matter how our help comes, whoever is helping us. Now, whatever iceCube did, if he did it before the election or his timing, I still gotta give a man the utmost respect, and I gotta just trust his decision on what he did, and he got something accomplished. We are the most complaining people in the whole wide world.
And divisive. We're so divisive.
And divisive.
The Most High y'all called us stiff neck. That's us, Hebrew. We stiff neck. That's what we are.
Yeah.
iceCube has been around. iceCube was, he didn't have a song, Arrest the President. He talked about the Jews. iceCube makes smart moves.
Yes,
he does. He does.
Smart moves.
And this was a very smart move. It was.
Yeah. And I respect somebody like iceCube more so than I would ever respect a whole lot of people, because he came from the streets. Right. He made it. Then he learned the game. Now he's trying to help people. Y'all messed up, people. Y'all messed up. And it don't matter.
Some of us really are. Some of us really are.
A lot of us are. Yeah. My thing is, I don't understand, and I never understand, and I keep saying this, how Black people can be mad that a black man is standing up for us, standing up for the black community, for what he believes, some of the things that we need, some of the things that need to be poured into the black community. You mad at this black man for meeting with a white president, but you're not mad for Joe Biden for meeting with Cardi B. Why couldn't Joe Biden meet with a black man? Think about it.
Because he's scared. And then what gets me is they always want to say Trump is a racist. Well, look at Biden's. He didn't want in the.
You breaking up again.
Yeah.
You still there, April?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah. You broke up. Say what you said again.
I said when they were trying to integrate schools, Joe Biden wasn't for that.
Nope.
You know, if you look at his stuff,
I had forgotten about that. You're
racist.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
You know,
he was not for integration. You're right.
He was not for integration. He was not. But now all of a sudden he's for us. This is how he felt then. But then everybody wants to talk about Trump. Hell, it just baffles me. It just baffles me. You know,
it just goes to show you how a lot of black people still has a slave mind, a slave mentality.
There you go.
It just goes to show
and that's absolutely it. You know, that's exactly what it is. It is a slave mentality. They're following the master, which is the media. You know, people need to understand that the media is no longer a news source. The media is made to form public opinion.
Right.
Yep. That's what the media is going to do.
Speaking of media, have you seen, there's a documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma that speaks on this. And if you have a chance, please watch it. You will be
I'll watch that tonight. I'm writing that down right now.
It's called The Social Dilemma. Let me know when you watch it so we can talk about it.
I'm gonna watch that tonight. Yes. I'm telling you right now, I will be watching that tonight. You know, I'm not a big TV person. I don't really watch TV. Occasionally I turn on the news, but yeah, I don't really watch TV. But yeah, I do Netflix and all that. Hulu
This is more of a news documentary. I'm sure you'll see what I'm talking about they saying that how social media and mental illness come hand in hand. And it'll tell you how they are watching us. Once we log into the internet, they are watching us. And they also admitted to the 2016 election being tampered with by Russian intelligence. They admit these are texts that help build Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, all these social media platforms that we use. They are telling you the best thing for you to do is stay off of social media.
And you know, that even goes along with smart TVs. Okay.
Yep.
Alexa, all of that.
Yep.
You know, people think it's far-fetched. They think it's a conspiracy, but it's fact. You know, Sony has come out and admitted, we're recording what you do in your home. Because this is how they gather data.
Yep.
This is how they know what you watch. You know, they know what you like, and they target you for advertising that way.
Yes, they target you on purpose.
Yeah,
on purpose, and that's what that documentary is about. When you watch it, sis, we got to talk about it.
We definitely will. We definitely will.
All right.
And so, ladies, with that being said, I really, really, really appreciate y'all hopping on this panel. Hopefully, we
girl,
can
you
do
know.
it again.
Yes, we'll have to do it again next week.
Absolutely.
We'll
Definitely do it again.
Yeah, we
Absolutely.
got to get more people. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies. I hope
Okay.
y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.
You
I
too.
will.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right.
All right.
Talk to y'all later.
Okay. Bye.
Your girl B Sparrow, BTR 2020. That was DJ April Showers and Lady of Leisure, our first time meeting, and I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation that we had. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation too. That being said, stop being mad at iceCube. Do your research and see what this brother is doing. Just because he went over there to see Donald Kingpin Trump, it doesn't mean that he is voting for Donald Kingpin Trump. In fact, he said he don't support Donald Trump nor Joe Biden. He says, but somebody got to do something. He said he don't care which side do what. Somebody got to do something. And for that, I salute you, iceCube. It's your girl, B Sparrow, BTR 2020. Holla if you hear me.